Have you ever looked into the mirror and questioned the man staring back at you? Not because you lack intelligence, not because your body is weak, but because there's a fracture deep within your soul, silent, shameful surrender to lust. You wake early, train hard, devour books, push your limits. On the surface, you seem disciplined, focused, maybe even admirable. But when midnight strikes and the world falls asleep, something else takes control. The screen lights up, the temptation whispers, and you fold. Lust doesn't storm your gates with violence. It seduces. It tiptoes. It waits until your willpower is low, your energy depleted, your mind seeking comfort. And then it feeds. Not on your flesh, but on your spirit. It dismantles you, piece by piece, while telling you everything is fine. This is a war unlike any other. Silent battle with no spectators, no glory, no applause, only blood. And the enemy isn't outside. It's within. One man understood this battle better than most. Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest swordsman Japan ever produced. He didn't just duel men. He dueled himself, his cravings, his weakness, his inner chaos. And he emerged victorious. Chapter 1. The first cut recognizing the enemy. Musashi's philosophy. Out the way of walking, alone is not poetry. It's strategy. One line reads, "Do not let yourself be guided by the feeling of lust or love." That isn't romantic advice. It's a scarred warning from a man who lived in the trenches of spiritual war. Lust, he understood, is not just desire, it's a weapon aimed at your discipline, your focus, your destiny. Most men confuse lust with vitality, with being alive. They think it's natural, harmless, even necessary. They're wrong. Lust is a craving that disguises itself as connection. But it is not connection. It is consumption. It doesn't want your heart. It wants your attention, your energy, your sovereignty. Chapter 2. The death of warriors begins with pleasure. Imagine two men, both strong, both capable, both walking the same road. One chooses hardship, cold showers, early mornings, silence, pain, the repetition of iron. The other chooses warmth, easy laughter, comfort, the familiar softness of indulgence. At first, they seem equally formidable. Fast forward a year. One is lean, focused, resiliental, weapon forged by fire. The other is bloated, distracted, tired, dulled by the pleasures he mistook for rewards. Musashi understood this. If you chase pleasure, you surrender power. Lust is only one mask of this pleasure. But it is the most deceitful. It whispers that you deserve it. That one more time doesn't matter. That you've earned it. But every time you say yes, you say no to strength, to mastery, to your future. Chapter 3. Craving is a symptom, not the disease. Lust is not just sexual. It is existential. You do not scroll because you're hungry for content. You scroll because you're starving for meaning. You don't open the incognito tab because you want pleasure. You open it because facing your life feels heavier than fantasy. Men fall into lust not because they are perverse, but because they are lost, empty, detached from purpose. Lust is the painkiller. It's the numbing agent that fills the space where meaning should live. But painkillers don't heal. They hide the wound until infection sets in. The truth: you're not addicted to porn. You're addicted to escaping yourself. And that's what Musashi refused. He didn't run. He didn't hide. He stared his demons in the face and cut them down, not out of hatred, but out of necessity. Chapter 4. Real strength has no audience. We live in a culture that worships visibility. You're taught that if no one sees your grind, it doesn't count. that your effort is only valuable if it gets applause, that discipline must be shared to be real. But that is a lie. The strongest men bleed in silence. Musashi didn't post his battles. He trained in caves. He slept outdoors. He lived in self-imposed exile, not because he hated people, but because he refused weakness. True strength isn't built in front of a crowd. It is forged in the silence of solitary choices. Closing the tab, walking past temptation, sitting with boredom, resisting the urge to reach for fleeting stimulation. No one claps for those victories. But they count. Chapter 5. Modern men, ancient warlets, stop pretending this is just about morality or religion. This is spiritual warfare. Men today are being chemically and psychologically disarmed. Their testosterone is dropping, their dopamine is hijacked, their habits are sabotaged by algorithms and convenience. Lust isn't just on your phone, it is your phone. Every scroll, every ad, every image is designed to keep you hungry, to keep you chasing, to keep you empty. A man who is always hungry cannot lead. He cannot protect. He cannot create. He is too busy consuming. And so, a generation of men is rotting not from lack of potential, but from misplaced desire. Musashi didn't have social media, but he faced the same enemy, and he killed it with purpose. Chapter 6. The path of the blade. Musashi's sword was not just steal, it was abstinence, control, silence. He understood that clarity comes at a price, that you cannot think clearly if your mind is clouded by need, that you cannot act decisively if you are distracted by fantasy. In a real fight, lust will not save you. It will destroy you. It will slow your reflexes. It will cloud your instincts. It will drain your strength before the battle begins. Musashi refused softness not because he hated pleasure, but because he had something more important to protect. His edge. And if you want to win in life, truly win, you must do the same. Chapter 7. The code of silence. There is something no one tells you. Every man is tempted. Some lose silently. Some win silently. But all are in the fight. What separates the warrior from the casualty is not perfection. It's persistence. Every time you tell yourself, just one more time, you dull your edge. You lose credibility with yourself. You break the sacred bond of trust between you and your own mind. But when you say no, especially when no one is watching, you become dangerous. You speak with weight. You walk with gravity. You become the man other men respect, and women feel without understanding why. Because silence is strength, and restraint is power. Chapter 8. How to kill lust. Let's be practical. You don't defeat lust with wishful thinking. You starve it. You remove the images. You block the accounts. You delete the apps. You break the patterns. Not gently. Violently. Discipline is not found through balance. It is forged in battle. Take that hunger and transform it. Build, train, create. Fight for something that requires your full strength, because lust cannot survive in the presence of purpose. Chapter 9. The man you become without it. Without lust, you become lethal. Your eyes stop scanning for beauty. They lock in on goals. On targets. You stop chasing stimulation. You begin creating impact. You stop hesitating. You begin deciding. Your very presence changes. Not loud, not boastful, just focused, centered, sharp. Women notice. Not because you're desperate, but because you're not. You are no longer hungry for something they can give you. You are already full, overflowing. That is power. That is magnetism. That is mastery. Chapter 10. Walking the path alone. Musashi's final teaching wasn't about swords. It was about solitude. Respect. Buddha and the gods, without counting on their help. Translation: no one is coming to save you. Your battle is yours alone. Your demons are yours to slay. Your hunger is yours to master. You win with your own blood, your own decisions, your own pain, and when you win, the world changes not because it got easier, but because you got harder. You become the man others pretend to be, not because you're better, but because you chose the harder path. Not for applause, not for validation, but because the version of you that surrenders to lust has no place in the world you are building. Final words. Become the blade. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be brutal. Control isn't emotional, it's mechanical, built through repetition, pain, silence, fire. And when you walk through it, you don't come out clean. You come out sharp, like Musashi, like a sword forged by solitude. No chains, no shame, just steel. The true science of martial arts means practicing them in such a way that they will be useful at any time. Musashi wrote, "So it is with lust. It is not your enemy. Your reaction to it is. Sharpen yourself. This world doesn't need more men who give in. It needs warriors who walk alone. Quiet, focused, dangerous. Choose, become the conqueror. Or be consumed by your hunger. There is no middle path."